from their point of view, we have opportunity to choose to find meaning and find success in career, whereas the high school exam, the gaokao, determines your college, which determines your career. Maybe these kids like feel like their career or their future is just given to them, and so they feel less ownership over it.
In China, they work really, really hard to make those things the best it can ever be.
Yeah. There are translations of that into ABC culture here, still known in America for being the people who put their heads down and work really hard.
Yeah. My aunt was like, just like how in the US you probably have to 跳墙 or jump over the US firewall. And I was like, girl, the US doesn't have a firewall. Every time I go back, I feel like I had never left. Oh, I could cry. So Cinder just came back from the motherland.
I did.
She did.
And while I was in the motherland, I texted Carol. I was like, podcast idea, all of my reflections from meeting my relatives. Because you went to the motherland.
I did.
When did you go again?
September.
Okay, yeah. So we've gotten to visit
Our people.
Who share our blood.
Yeah.
Are we diving straight in?
Yeah. What are we talking about today, Cinder?
What are we talking about today, Carol? I just got back, so I need to be refreshed on things.
I don't even know if you have a brain currently.
Oh my god. My first night back, I missed 2 subway stops. I was getting dinner with a friend in Brooklyn, completely missed the stop, my transfer stop, and I completely missed it on the way home too.
Yeah.
Good thing I was on the express line, because then I had to wait 20 more minutes.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's craziness.
Anyway, that's all to say.
Only freaking noobs do that.
That's all to say. I haven't been in New York for a while. So what are we talking about today, Carol?
We're talking today, Cinder, about the motherland in which our parents came, in which we have inherited tradition, excellence.
What? Someone didn't inherit that.
Excuse you. In which we inherited tradition, culture, some of us language, some of us not.
我说的非常地道。
Oh, nice.
谢谢大家。Total aside, but you know how they say like different personalities come out like in different contexts or environments or types of people that you're around?
Yeah.
Carol completely code switches when she speaks Mandarin. When she's like talking Chinese with her parents, she's like, 哎呀，你呢？喂？
That's like, I feel like that could be a TikTok, because I've seen it with Koreans.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're talking amongst each other and they're like, yo, like this food sucks. Like, ugh. And then the waiter comes out.
That's literally Carol with her parents, so she can't even roast. Like her and I will be like yapping on the couch just like this, and then her dad calls. We've cut this out before when her dad's called, and she's like, 喂 你干嘛呢?
It's just the Asian.
我在家呢.
You kind of just have to pull out the uwu when you're speaking an Asian language. The uwu just comes out. I don't know.
Which also made me think that I feel like my relatives have a very different perspective on my personality and my character.
Oh, yeah.
Because of maybe some code switching, but also because my Chinese is limited. Like one time my gufu, my uncle, was like, oh, like Cindy and Diane are kind of shy, huh?
Oh. No.
Like, yeah, 不是.
No.
Yeah. So.
Okay, anyways, so we were going to talk about just our reflections on seeing the motherland, what that has cultivated in our brains as thoughts.
Yeah, just reflections.
Yeah. Why don't you share what's top of mind, since you just touched down?
Top of mind is that Shanghai had a lovely winter. It was like 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which was
really?
like, I forget, like 15 or 20 degrees Celsius. And then I touched down here and it was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a little top of mind for me.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
Wait, also context is that we are the only, us and our immediate families are the only ones to live in America, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have like
relatives here.
Right, yeah,
in the US, yeah.
Yeah, and so one thought I had.
I didn't know that about you. Today
What?
TIL.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Wait, and we both have like.
I guess that makes sense. You've never talked about relatives here.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What's the impetus of this podcast episode?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But also, don't we both have like one cousin in Canada?
Okay, I have a like 1 second, whatever.
One second? Okay.
Or he's.
She has a 1 second uncle. One thought I had, this was my first time spending our Lunar New Year in the motherland. And first of all, it was hella runao, or like lively AF.
Oh.
Lively AF.
Like even in your small town?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, even our small town like was maybe more runao,
Oh, dang.
more lively than Shanghai, because
Everyone knows each other probably.
yeah, like everyone's like gathering together. Somebody was saying that during I'm like translating it in my head, the spring festival, when everyone has time off, I'm like 春假的时候 人都放假
Wow. Cinder, wait, actually she came back like a different person. Like before she'd be like, Ni howdy, ma'am. Like that's how she would speak to me. But like now she like actually has vocabulary. I'm like very impressed.
It's because for the past 2 weeks, in order to survive,
Right.
everything we've talked about was in Mandarin. So now I'm like starting to translate things back.
Dang, bro.
Anyway,
I'm very impressed.
okay, for the spring festival, like in China they take like between 7 to like 14 to 15 days off, and everyone takes it off and everyone goes home, and that's like the tradition to spend it with family.
Yeah.
And so like
I wonder
my
how their
aunts and
transportation systems handle that.
oh yeah, wait, my dad was saying something like 10 million people fly
That's
during
crazy, bro.
during break. Yeah, it's like when America goes on Christmas break, like, and everyone goes home. But unlike in America, where like a lot of families will still maybe like go to a different country. Sometimes families do that in China, but my aunts and uncles were saying the vast majority of people are going back to their hometown. And my dad was saying part of that could also be like people leave their hometown or like go far away for work, and this is their one time during the year that they can go home and like reunite with everyone. And I really felt that spirit of like the reuniting of everyone. And so one like lunch that I had, like 22 relatives on my dad's side
Holy.
came back together.
That's crazy.
And I didn't even know I had 22 relatives, bro.
Dang, that's crazy.
It was so crazy.
And
Like
they all went back to the hometown?
yeah. So like one guy lives in Vancouver. There's like part of the family that was in Shanghai. Yeah, just everyone gathered. And so my aunts and uncles were saying like during this time, usually the big cities, they called it like 经济发的城市.
Okay.
Like
Economy flourished cities.
yeah. Or
Okay.
like where technology and like new modern economy has built that city, like Shanghai. Those cities are like super quiet. And I felt that like when I went to my parents' hometown first, which is Shenyang, and then we flew back to Shanghai, and Shanghai was like so quiet.
Really?
There were like
Dang.
no people on the roads, and it was like very odd.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, for a big city. On top of that, I think in bigger cities they have stricter rules around fireworks, but then in Shenyang, like all night long,
Oh gosh.
it was just popping off.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how people slept the first night. It was fireworks all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's
left and
so
right.
fun actually.
So anyway, to bring that back to what we were saying of like how our immediate families are the only ones in the US, I felt in contrast in China like how family is such a strong like bonding grounding unit for my relatives in China, like seeing each other, whether it's once a year during Chunjia or a couple of holidays. Like they know each other, they lean on each other, they pick each other up from the airport, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I feel like I tasted that love a little bit too while I was back.
Yeah. My mom's side, they all stayed in that city.
Wow. Except her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're like all extremely close.
Oh.
And they like my cousins are really close. Like they're like they treat each other like siblings.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
And they also all live like within like a bike ride away from each other.
Dang, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all purposely did that.
Oh, okay. Or I remember, like as my grandparents were getting old, like the siblings, the kids and the siblings, like purposefully moved closer to grandma to take care and to take turns taking care. Yeah, and I heard stories like this past time of how they did that and how each person like took on different responsibilities too. Yeah, which is like so beautiful.
Yeah.
Even like my cousin and my cousin's sister-in-law treat each other like sisters.
Yeah.
Because they see each other so regularly.
Yeah. Like my uncle's wife. Yeah. Is like besties with my mom's sister.
Aww.
Yeah. But like but my mom doesn't know her as well.
Aww.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to your parents about like them missing that?
Yeah. I think like multiple times in my childhood, I remember times when my parents were like, it's too hard here, let's go back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Or like it's just easier, like life is so much easier there because you know so many people, like
you know your way around.
Yeah. And like now, because now my parents have lived, or they went back for like work, they lived there for like a year now. I feel like they like are seeing the benefits of living in China because they have like connections, they have like people that they can go to and ask for help.
Right.
Yeah, they have family there, so yeah, I feel like multiple times in my childhood I remember them being like, oh, it's time, let's go back.
Man.
Yeah, because it takes a lot for an immigrant to stay here.
Yeah.
Like every time I would look for a job, my dad's like, you know, at least you don't have to apply for H-1B.
Oh my gosh. Facts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I totally take that for granted.
Yeah.
I've like complained about I'm complaining to a friend who has like an H-1B visa and she's like, I also hate my job, but ain't no way I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly. No, my dad was like, you have the luxury of choice.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so it's rough to move here.
I feel like it is for any immigrant, like no matter what country you come from or what region, like to drop yourself as like it's just you and maybe a partner, maybe kids into a new space is so difficult. But I think my relatives saw us as like the people who like chased opportunity and who now have like so much more of the world like at our fingertips than they do.
Yeah. I remember when I went back, I was shopping with my mom and her sister, and we were like walking around, and my mom would just like whip out like English or whip out Japanese.
Whoa.
And then my mom's sister would be like, your mom's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because they've just like lived in more places. And and like my aunt has only ever lived her whole life there.
People are like what do I call her? Cousin-in-law? My cousin-in-law she was saying like, oh, you like, so you speak English, but you have friends who are also like Chinese, and so you hear English and Chinese. She was like, I want to learn English, but no one speaks English around me. So I don't know how to learn.
No, I don't think they understand the concept that like, or like my relatives in China don't understand the concept that like there are other people in America that are just like me.
Yeah.
Which is like such like, I think to them they're like, oh, like you're like the one family in our family that went to America.
Right.
But like all my friends,
all my
friends we have the same background. Like our parents also moved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I've explained that to my aunt and uncle, they're like, wow.
Yeah, there's others.
There's other yeah. It's just like an abstract concept.
Yeah.
You are an abstract concept.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Just because like their sample size is only you.
Yeah.
Or like only me.
Yeah.
Wait, I explained it to my Google, like, remember in college we called ourselves banana, or like there are people that are eggs and there are people that are bananas.
Oh yeah.
So I explained this concept to my Google.
You have to explain it.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like we might have made that up.
We might have. We are bananas. Oh, where's the banana? Okay. We are bananas.
We have both of these.
Let's demonstrate.
Now.
Let's demonstrate with
we
our
just
plushies.
happen to have the plushies at our disposal.
Okay, so maybe eggs. Okay. So
yeah.
if you're an egg, then you look white on the outside, but inside you feel yellow.
Oh, yeah. Or like you have white personality and behavior, but on the inside you're really yellow.
Oh.
Wait, what? Did we have different understandings?
I think we have different.
Wait, what did you say? What did you just say?
You look white on the outside, like you're white.
Oh, like
but
you're
inside
a white
you like
person.
you like Asian culture and heritage.
Oh, I did not know that's what you were thinking. Also, egg is like yellow fever, bro.
Yeah. In contrast, a banana, you see them on the outside as yellow, but then when you open them up, you peel them on the inside, they actually have like white culture. So I was explaining to my Google that we are like bananas.
Mm-hmm.
We look yellow, but we've been raised in a Western country, such as America.
Yeah.
And so we are very American on the inside.
Yeah.
At least compared to them, we are pretty white on the inside.
Yeah. True.
So my aunt brings that up every single year when I go back. She's like, "Oh, 你怎么样？你的香蕉朋友怎么样?"
Oh, really? Yeah. That's so funny. Wait, that's actually so
How are your
cute.
banana friends is what she was saying.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah.
No, the only reason why I said the egg one, is because I used to think of myself as an egg because I feel like I had grown up in white land.
Oh, yeah.
Like I grew up with
her school, hella white.
Like I feel like I grew up with white people and surrounded by white and Hispanic and like not Asian.
Uh-huh.
And so I felt like I was white on the outside, but internally, you couldn't see it, but I was still Asian.
Oh, you were like hiding it.
Yeah. But I feel
see.
like since I've gone to college and because Berkeley is 30% white, Asian, both? Actually. Yeah. Like now I feel like I'm able to express more of my Asianness, which I feel like I actually had a lot of internally that I just like didn't externalize. And then now I'm the banana.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because I still have some white on the inside, but externally it's mostly, as you can tell.
She's able to show her yellow a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I solely meant physical appearance.
Oh. No, that analogy also makes sense. Yeah.
I told all of them, I was like, please come visit. And I realized that like us going over to China, like the conversion rate just makes China so much more accessible than them coming to America. They have to shell out like a lot from their income and stuff to be able to make it over here.
Also, you have to like apply for a visa in China to come to the US.
Yeah.
And like my cousin and my aunt, they have been wanting to come. Like every year we're always like, you should come.
Yeah.
And so they live in a small town called Guilin.
Cool.
And you have to go to a big city to Tianjin, which is like apply for visa.
Yeah.
So they one time tried and they went to Guangzhou, which is like the nearest big city, and they applied. They spent a lot of money to travel there, spent a lot of money to apply for the visa.
Yeah.
But it's much harder for them to get a visa from China to the US than it is for us to get a visa to China.
Dang.
So,
and even in America, it takes like 2+ weeks and you have to go in person and all this ish.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I'm pretty sure it's on the US side. Like, US doesn't want that many.
Okay.
Yeah. So they failed once, and it would cost them a lot of money to even try.
Oh, man.
So then they haven't tried since.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with my grandma and grandpa when my sister was born. Like, they wanted to come to the US to help. And, or actually, my grandpa was, like, kind of not wanting to come anyway, because he's, you know, whatever. And then only my grandma got the visa and he didn't.
Oh.
And so my grandma came, and then he just, like, never tried again.
Man.
Yeah. So I feel like it's, like, on top of coming here and spending a lot, like, you also have to have... you have to jump through hoops to try to get a visa.
Right.
And you have to attempt multiple times.
Yeah.
Anyways, so...
Maybe that adds to just they feel like America is just a faraway place. Like, they'll just forever wonder what it's like.
Yeah. And
man.
I remember, like, I was, like... This recent time I went back and I saw my, like, boy cousin that lives in a big city.
Thank you for clarifying the gender.
My boy cousin.
I wasn't sure, so.
Anyway. Now you know. He now makes, like, big boy money. Or, like, out of all my cousins, like, he's the one who makes big boy money.
Yeah.
Like, he works at a firm.
Did he stay in Guilin? Or?
No, he moved to a big city.
Dude,
Yeah.
he made it.
Yeah,
in their eyes, right?
Yeah. So he moved to a big city. He was like, oh, I feel like going to the US is, like, so hard. And then I was like, you know, it's like, I literally, the time I went to see him, I literally had, like, 2 weeks of break, and I was like, 2 weeks before I just booked my ticket and I was like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, like, I don't know how you, like,
that.
Yeah, in their minds, like, it's, like, impossible.
It's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I think all of that reminds me of our privilege, to be able to, like, to feel that China is accessible. Everything from the visa process to the conversion rates.
I also feel like it could be, on top of China being more accessible, I do think it's probably a cultural thing too. I feel like they see the world as an outside. More so than like, Americans feel like the world is, like, outside. Because we have, like, infinite information and access, as of now, to like, world.
Israel news.
Okay. Yes.
Just
but, like,
kidding.
they, like, for them, like, the US seems like so out of reach.
Yeah,
because they
very
don't
different.
have the reach to the information. Because
wow.
China has a firewall. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, on that note of the firewall. So I didn't get VPN before I went. And I was like, oh, I'll just, like, it's like 10 days, no big deal. But I genuinely felt like I, like, retreated from civilization.
Yeah, right.
Well, also because of course, like, we use Instagram and Messenger to, like, Facebook to communicate, and so, like, those platforms were completely out of reach.
You also can't use, like, Google.
Yeah,
So,
I was
like...
searching things on Baidu.com.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, Baidu has completely different search results than
Yeah.
Google does.
Yeah.
But that was really interesting.
Yeah.
To
Also,
experience that.
I think I might have told you this story, but I was, like, talking to my aunt and cousin about the firewall, like, how we need to, like, in Chinese, it's like we have to 跳墙, which is, like,
Yeah.
jump over the wall.
Yeah, it's so funny. There's a term for it.
Yeah. And my aunt was like, oh, like, just like how in the US you probably have to 跳墙 or jump over the US firewall. And I was like, girl, the US doesn't have a firewall. On top of that, I feel like my parents also have, like, really good perspective now that they've, like, lived there again for a bit, and then, like, they're like, the differences.
Yeah.
I think they have sympathies towards
Oh, yeah.
China. Like, we were talking about how, yes, there's, like, a firewall. Yes, you have no privacy. No one values privacy. The government has cameras literally on every corner. And
I started just staring at the cameras everywhere we went.
no, yeah, because they know where every single person in their population is at any moment, because they have so many cameras.
Yeah. And back in 2020, they knew if they had COVID or how recently they had COVID, and
Yeah.
data.
I feel like the US, like, really, really values privacy. Like, when you see, like, ads for, like,
Oh yeah.
for, like,
the
Apple
VPN,
or, like, WhatsApp,
Yeah,
it's always, like,
like privacy
encrypted messages.
Right,
like,
right.
no one
Yeah.
get, like, we don't have your data.
Yeah. Granted, I don't know how much of that is just marketing, because I don't feel like I have any privacy here, but
True, because people sell your data. but like people value privacy.
Oh yeah. Humans,
humans here value privacy. And I feel like in China it's actually like the opposite, like, or they don't necessarily care for privacy as a trade-off to like safety and like feeling protected.
But is that like they didn't have a choice in the matter and that's what's given to them?
This is my personal opinion, but like I think because they've seen the benefits. Yes, they don't know anything else, but at the same time, like they don't have crime, they don't have mass shootings. They can track like even petty crime, like now, like stealing a wallet. If you steal someone's wallet, they can track your face down in minutes.
Yeah, dang. And so your family, like your relatives, like really like that.
Yeah, or even like I was like talking to like young people that are like the kids of my dad's friends, and we were like eating at a restaurant and we were all like, okay, how are we gonna get home? And then like our hotel was like a 30-minute walk and it was like 10 p.m. And then my mom and my dad were like, oh, like we need a car, like how do we get home? And then they were like, just walk. Why wouldn't you walk? And then my parents, it's late.
Safe?
It's not safe.
Yeah.
They were like, what do you mean? Like,
true.
You should definitely walk. Sanbu is nice. It's going for a stroll is good for digestion. Like I was like, what?
Well, last year I was like, I had a bank account open in China, just like where we were putting all of the hongbao like as kids that we got every year, and we were like, okay, we're not using this money, let's just take it out, and the only way to take it out, because I didn't have like another Chinese bank account to transfer it to, was to take out the cash. And so I like came out of the bank holding like all of my hongbao accrued over like a decade, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna get mugged. I was like so scared, and my dad was like, you can take them out and like fly them in the air, like you can wave those dollars, like those $100 bills in the air, and no one will dare to touch you.
Dang, that's really crazy actually.
Yeah, but like instinctually I was like,
yeah. But obviously there's downsides as well, where like I feel like I was talking to someone earlier and they were like, oh, I don't really want to go to China. And I'm like, why?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, my face will be in their database. And then like what if they come like, so,
or where I work right now is in fintech, and they have like very strict like data sharing regulation laws, whatever, so I was not allowed to bring like my company devices into China, like at all. Like I couldn't even shut it off, close it, and just not open it. Like I had to leave my device in America. So I like finagled like this layover in SF where my mom lives and dropped off my laptop and picked it up on my layover on the way back. Deleted like Slack and all of the things off of my phone, because it would be a breach to our customer data privacy regulations if I brought anything over to China.
But what's crazy is that you can do it in Taiwan. Like you can go to Taiwan and it's totally chill.
Well, it's funny. There are like 5 embargoed countries for where I work, and it's like Cuba, Russia, China. So it just government is different out there.
We're gonna get banned.
Oh man,
we're just banned in those countries.
Okay, maybe slight pivot. So another way that like our cousins perceive our lives being different, or maybe for me specifically, this came out of conversations with my aunt and uncle during the only child policy, when only one kid was allowed in each family, in part because of that policy. And then maybe it's more competitive now than ever to get jobs in China, even after you graduate from college, even if you go to like higher education.
Why is that?
I think it's like an overcrowding kind of thing. Like my dad was just saying that it's really hard, and then that plus AI, it's just getting harder and harder to find jobs. So like in part because of the only child policy, where like single children were like very taken care of and like very protected by their parents, plus it's getting harder and harder to get jobs. You're seeing a lot of people from like the upcoming generation just chill at home. Like after they graduate college, they move home with their parents and just stay at home, and are very dependent on family and very dependent on their parents' income,
because like they only have one kid to take care of. they are their pride and joy, and everything. All their resources go to this one kid.
And in China, because like family is such an important like part of identity, like your legacy is being passed down through this child too.
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
It is, but at the same time, it makes it so that they are hella spoiled. I'm not speaking like directly about my cousins, but like when I was there and I went to like family friends' homes and they have kids, like younger kids, but that were born during the one child policy, like they only know how to be on their phone. They only know like how to like do their own thing, and they don't really know how to like speak with people or like interact with adults. Or like at the dinner table, they're scrolling their phone the whole time as we're eating dinner. And I was like, huh? Like how is this even like allowed?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because I feel like respect and like that culture used to be really like prevalent in China. Obviously it's probably still there, but like yeah, I was just shocked because when I was a kid and going to China, like kids would be like you have to go like greet your neighbors, like you have to go bring them food, like you have to like no phone at the dinner table, you get slapped if you have phone at the dinner table. Now it's like you're fully scrolling your phone, like talking to no one. Like I was like so confused.
My dad was saying that like WeChat videos, which is like Instagram Reels or TikTok, is like so addicting even for like people in his generation.
Oh really? Dang.
So I wonder if like technology plays a role too. I was also gonna say, I think like in the Chinese education system, you have to take the high school exam, the gaokao, which determines your college, which determines your career. And there's like, if you don't place well, then you either have a really hard time finding a job, period, or the job you're in is really unsatisfying, unfulfilling. And so my cousins and my like cousin-in-laws, like they were saying, the ones who have their own kids, from their point of view, we have opportunity to choose, which then grants us like a feeling of independence and freedom, that we can go like
us meaning Americans.
Yeah, like we have the power to chase new things and to find meaning and find success in career, in life, and all these things, whereas maybe these kids like feel like their career or their future is just given to them, and so they feel less ownership over it.
Interesting. Oh, that's actually really interesting.
That's why, so my Google kept using the word like 自由. She was like, it feels like you're a lot more independent. Like you have this feeling of like you own your own life.
I was gonna say, I think that also probably relates to, I was talking to my dad about like the different working cultures in the US and like
versus China?
Versus China.
Okay.
What you were saying about like independence and like feeling like you own, like that's the American dream, right? Like outside of like the systemic issues that we have.
Of which there are many.
But it does like to an extent feel like you can work your way with hard work. To me, it seems like that also like bolsters the innovation in the US. That's why like new technology or like new stuff comes from the US, and like there's hella startups in the US that are thinking about new ways of doing things. But then in China, like people, I think culturally, they like work really, really hard. Yeah. On top of the competition nowadays, like you're just like heads down, work really hard, 996.
Yeah. And it's almost like you win by working the hardest.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. But like the cultural like thing that you were talking about earlier, like it pushes the innovation in the US. So then because startups start in the US, like OpenAI and Anthropic like are pushing the bounds on these LLMs. And then in China, what was the Chinese? Yeah, DeepSeek or like other models.
Like Yuanbao or Doubao.
Yeah, they all like come after the US like had already innovated. Or like Xiaomi, for example, like makes phones, and like their phones are like an exact replica of like the Apple phone. I feel like in China they work really, really hard to make those things the best it can ever be.
Yeah. My dad said the way of working in China is you see an idea or a concept that has been tested already and is validated, and you go and get that and make it better.
Yeah.
So that you win in this like tried and true path already.
Yeah.
You know how like cars have like showrooms in malls now?
Yeah.
So we were passing by this like electric car and I was like, oh my gosh, like it looks exactly like a Tesla.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, but it's so much better.
Yeah. And there's like 10 million brands that also do Tesla cars.
Yeah. And you even see that like my dad gave that example when we were at like a yeshi, like a night market, where you saw like carts lined up that were selling the same exact thing. But like some of them had more variety and some of them had more of this, or like they're advertising like one version of it, or like something with like yogurt in the middle. They find what's tried and true and just double down. And they do a really good job at that. And my cousin, he taught me a term. It's called juan. Like China's very juan. Yes.
Oh, really?
I learned that too.
Yeah. And it's like basically like it's really competitive. Like
juan means like tight or like tightening.
Or like twisting. Yeah. And so he was like, it's just like so competitive because everybody is trying to get after the same thing.
Right.
And like a million people are doing, that's why like on freaking Temu, like you see the same stock photo, but it's like a million different sellers are selling that same stock photo.
Yeah. And I feel like there are translations of that into ABC culture here. Like we've talked about how in the workplace here, like I think Asians are still known in America for being the people who put their heads down and work really hard.
Yeah.
But then when we're talking about like corporate stuff, like sometimes you see like Asians bypassed for like higher level roles or getting promoted because you're not like getting the visibility, or you're not like pushing the bounds, or like challenging or doing something new.
Or like speaking up. Like speaking up, like defending yourself, like all these political things that aren't prevalent in Chinese culture.
Yeah. And so we feel some of that culture like getting like passed down to us too.
I was gonna say, so when I went to China, I went to Huangshan, Yellow Mountain. Which is a mountain in China that's like really famous. Your parents honeymooned there?
Yes, they did.
That's crazy. Anyways, the only way to get up to the mountain is you take a gondola like halfway and like you have to walk the rest of the way. The thing is like no cars can go on it. There's no like mode of transportation that is like at all on the mountain, because like the steps that you have to take to get up there are like really tough. But there's like full on hotels, like full on like stores, like souvenir stores, like restaurants, like all over the top of the mountain. But there's no vehicles that you can like use to get up there. And so it's like famous for the fact that like in order to build and like get things like supply those places, you have to go on foot. And there's like hundreds of like workers that are wearing these like green vests, and they're like, I don't know what it's called, but you know, like the bar of wood that goes on like your back,
the bamboo thing.
Bamboo. It's bamboo. And then they like two things drop on each side, and it's like full of like stuff that they're bringing to the restaurant and like bringing to the. So I was like reading on like how they built like the hotel that we were staying at, and they literally on foot, all of these people like would bring like brick by brick all the stuff that they needed to build the hotel, like mattress by mattress, like carrying it onto the top of the mountain. Anyways, so my dad was saying like you wouldn't see in the US hundreds of people being willing to like on their backs daily like carry from the gondola to the top of the mountain, but like the Chinese are just like, this is my livelihood. I'm going to put my head down and just do it.
And I'm reading this book right now called Mott Street, and it's following like one person's family history, like coming from China into the US, starting in California and then making their way to New York, where Mott Street is in Chinatown. And she recalled like stories of her great grandpa and great uncle or something, who came through the railroad being built during the gold rush. And that was infamously like the first time where a huge wave of like Chinese migrants came into the US. And there's like documented like stories of how the railroad owners really wanted the quote like Chinaman because they worked really hard and they worked really well.
Yeah.
But that also meant that the quote Chinaman was being paid like 10 cents for every dollar that a white person was making.
Dang.
And it's crazy, like the parallels, like
Yeah.
that same stuff like is still the mindset of like Chinese Americans today. Like we put our heads down and work really hard, and that's how we get the job. And that's how we like keep stable income, but then our income is less because we're not competing in other ways.
Yeah.
Or standing up for ourselves.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is crazy. I guess that's why parents want us to have stable jobs.
Yeah. I was gonna ask like how your relationship is with like your relatives. Do you feel close to them?
I feel like every time I go back, I feel like I had never left or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they also treat me that way.
Dang.
Like especially my like mom's side of the family, they overexert themselves and cross every personal boundary they have to make people feel like they're at home.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So
I feel that too. Yeah, last night my sister and I were like just feeling like overwhelmed by how much love we received in China.
Bro. Oh, I could cry. Oh, I could cry.
Yeah, we felt it from immediate family, but I also felt it so much from like each of my relatives who only see us once a year at most. And already that's so much, like for us ABCs to be able to go back so often.
Yeah.
But it's not that much in terms of like maintaining relationships. And I was thinking about like people here, if I see them once a year, I don't feel that close.
Yeah.
But because of that like blood tie.
Yeah. In China specifically, I mean that more as in like not the US.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Because when I think about like even like Asian family that is within the US, like at least in my family, like we're building our life.
Yeah.
And like you guys are building your life. And we come together sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not like the blood tie isn't that. Yeah.
Well, I also wonder if that depends on like different regions of the US. Like maybe cities feel differently than
that's true.
the burbs or like rural areas.
Yeah.
But I was even reminded of how like when I was having hot pot with my 22 relatives, like some of those people I haven't seen in over a decade. And yet there's still so much love like from every single person. Yeah, and they still remember like the little things. Yeah. And like check in on the little things. And related to that was like the table that I was sitting at, we were split into multiple tables because of how big we were. But the table we were sitting at, like to the left of me was a cousin who works as a Didi driver, or China's Uber driver, and her income sustains her and her daughter. And then to the right of me was my nephew who works and lives in Vancouver, like in the restaurant industry, and then his parents are like in government-ish jobs in China. And then across the table was like a family who lives in Shanghai. And I think just within that table we have such different lifestyles, livelihoods, socioeconomic like well-being, and yet like none of that matters. Like I was just reminded of how much further that family tie, how much further that goes. Yeah, it's a different kind of bond. It's a different kind of closeness. Yeah, it's like an implicit one where you don't really have to work at it and you just are given and gifted. And that's so crazy, bro. Yeah. It's crazy. It's just we don't get to feel that very often in life, I think. Yeah. Unearned kind of love. Yeah. And that's rare. And I think like back to how I felt that my relatives like see family as a grounding force. I feel like maybe a struggle with like immigrant families is we have to find that for ourselves, whether it's in like shared communities or church groups, or when we lived in Ohio and there were less Asians, like all of the Asians in the neighborhood or like all of our mutual friend Asians would get together for the holidays, and like that would be our family. Yeah. And that's like you creating and finding it for yourself. Yeah. Which is why like Asian churches are so popular, I feel like. Yeah. You have to like re-find your family. Yeah. I feel like here it's like all shushus and ais who are your second moms and second dads. Yeah. But then back home, like truly your uncles and your aunts by blood are your second moms and dads.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah, it is different.
Food was bussin', bro. That hot pot for 22 people. Oh my gosh, I couldn't eat the rest of the day. We ate at 12 p.m. and I genuinely couldn't move.
Dang, bro.
And per person, the total came out to less than $25.
Dang, dude.
Bro, for hot pot, all you can eat hot pot.
Yeah, that's really crazy, actually.
And it was so good.
Like my parents never eat out in the US because save money, live better. And
Walmart.
And they like I will beg them for them to eat out and they won't eat out. Like I will get them gift cards to go eat out and they don't use it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Wait, but then that's money.
I know. And then I have to or they're like saving it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for like a nice.
Yeah.
Bro.
But I'm like, you can just go eat out. It's fine. But in China, like now that they've moved back for a little bit, like they're like, oh, it's so cheap. Like we can eat out every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that reminds me. I was asking my cousins and my aunt about why you don't see any homeless people. Or anyone who's unhoused in China. One cousin was like, if you're on the street, the police will get you. Like, they don't allow it.
Yeah.
Another thing, though, that they said was that there still is economic disparity, but like access to sustenance, to shelter, to the basic necessities is a lot better than in America. Like, even if you're on a lower income, you can still get food on the table. More likely than if you're in America and you're like saving pennies so that you can eat out once.
Yeah. I was like also looking into that. Like in China, you have this thing called 户口, which is like your passport basically, but for your specific city that you're living in. And that way, like you have access to like your 户口's like benefits. And I think it's like also because the government is stronger meaning like more intense in China, like the systems aren't as bureaucratic and like slow. Like you can find access to these things like a lot easier.
And you're like guaranteed certain things. It's like, for example, my aunt and uncle are retired and they're still like their social security, their version of social security like kicked in right away, and it's like compounding every year.
Dang, yeah.
Like they're getting an annual salary every year that grows. Whereas here it's like, look into all of these things in order to get social security and then in order to maximize it. And it's like all these things that make retirement feel much more unstable even in America.
Yeah.
Well, also because of that, now my cousin, who is my aunt and uncle's daughter, is like Bing chillin' because my aunt and uncle have like these compounding salaries in retirement.
Yeah. And also like I feel like the generation before, like if they own a house, it's also like you're being chillin' because your parents own a house, so you can just live.
You got that paid off.
You don't even have to work for another.
Bruh. Yeah. Back to the like independence though that we get here. Like my Goga thinks it's so cool that I got to study psychology in college.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I love learning about psychology. He's like a 40-year-old guy. And he's like reading all these things on his own because he like wants to like expand his mind, and he's just like a fun guy like that. So even if I will never retire, at least I got to study what I wanted in college.
At least I got to take cool classes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho, I think that was a doozy,
that
honestly.
Was, yeah.
But I think it's cool that we can talk about China in a like empathetic way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do feel like
it's... 你们.
Okay.
想你们.
Okay. Yeah.
I love you and I miss you. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say.
Because I feel like so much of our personality comes from culture.
Yeah, passed down to us.
That's like rooted in China, and you can see like it manifest itself and like compound in the way that people are in China, and it explains like a lot about who I am. Yeah, like after I went. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
I went to like a history museum and I saw like old paintings of like people back in like the archaic ages of like stone and cavemen, but they were like Chinese cavemen. And I was like, oh my gosh, like people who looked like me existed back then too. It's just crazy. I didn't realize that all of the pictures I've seen growing up of like that time were white people.
Yeah. Oh, that is crazy.
And
yeah.
so anyway, just to your point on feeling seen.
Yeah. Also because China existed for like 2,000 years.
Yeah, bro.
And like America's a baby.
Oh my gosh. There's so much more history. It's way cooler.
But I don't know any of the history. Like,
wait, I learned oh my gosh, about the Ming dynasty and the
Qing I'm actually descendant of the Liu dynasty. So
my mom's side used to own a rice farm.
Whoa.
And some of them lived in the city, and so when they would visit, they would bring noodles from the city and trade them for rice at the rice farm.
That's really cool.
Right?
Yeah. That's really cool.
It used to be a whole town of like my shu, jiamen, jiaren,
Yeah.
growing rice on a farm together.
Really cute. No, yeah, my grandma like her family used to own like a street in a big city. Wow. But then after communism,
yeah,
they don't own anything anymore.
They took the land back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good time of reflection, and I miss China.
我们回去吧。
好吧。
Ew, that was so gross.
What do you mean? You spoke to me first.
She's
She's been coming back and just full mouth of Chinese. I literally can't even speak English anymore.
I want to practice more so that I can talk with my cousin. I love you all. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And tell us your China stories. Or I'm also curious like how this compares to like other Asian cultures, other Asian American experiences. Yeah. Like I'm sure like a lot of it is similar. I just like I'm curious. Anywho, let us know.
More guest speakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Do do do.
Do do do.
Good job.